This is the biggest anime game fumble I have ever seen in all my years of gaming. Allow me to introduce you to one of the most influential anime genre of all time, the infamous isekai. And hidden within this genre is what I genuinely believe to be the biggest missed opportunity in anime gaming history. For the uninitiated, isekai is basically what happens when somebody gets hit by a truck and wakes up with plot armor. Before I begin, what anime introduced you to the popular isekai genre? Let me know in the comments. So if it isn't obvious, I'm talking about Sword Art Offline. You heard me. The game we've been asking for a grand total of 15 years? Except, with the online part. I'm going to start this video off by saying what made SAO the most coveted, never actually made game in history. Right next to Jump Force, minus the Jump Force. On to what made Aincrad special. The biggest misconception is that people want the death game. No, the hell we don't. We want Aincrad. We want a second world to live our second life. Think about it. Most MMORPGs are just a collection of features. You level up, get gear, beat bosses, rinse, repeat. You log off. Permanently. But Aincrad felt different. Every floor was essentially its own vast little world. Some floors had giant cities, some had forests, some had lakes, some had entire cultures built around them. The world wasn't just, "Greetings, traveler. Ad Astra Abyssask." It felt like somewhere people could call home. And because of that, players weren't just a silent protagonist, Jump Force. They became merchants, blacksmiths, guild leaders, innkeepers, information brokers, craftsmen. Some players didn't even fight at all. They just lived their lives inside the game. And that's what made Aincrad so fascinating. But what the fuck was Season 2? Or the latter half of Season 1, rather? Asuna and Kirito spent the whole season playing fucking Sims instead of actually doing anything. The goal wasn't simply to defeat the final boss. The goal was to survive in a world that felt real enough to become your second home, your second life. That's why so many fans have spent over a decade asking for a Sword Art Online MMORPG. Not because they want to be Kirito, not because they want to get trapped in a game. I mean, some of us would be complaining, but because Aincrad represents something that most online games still struggle to create. A world that feels bigger than the player. A place where your story isn't the only story being told. Where every person you meet could be on their own journey. Where a random player you pass in town today might become the guild leader who helps you clear a raid 6 months later. That's the dream we fell in love with. Not the death game. Most of us. Not Kirito. Aincrad itself. Now, to answer the question I'm sure half of you are asking by now.
But Sevxn, what about SAO Fatal Bullet and Integral Factor? What about Echoes of Minecraft? This about the drop?
Shut your bitch ass up. I'm not paying $70 plus tax plus internet and hidden fees just to play Sword Art Offline. I'm tired. In all seriousness though, much like the Dragon Ball games, we got tired of playing the entire story of what we literally just watched. Boom, 90% of SAO games gone. These games weren't bad. Some of them were actually pretty good. The problem is they weren't what fans were asking for. And that's an important distinction. Next, the only two that matter. Every time Bandai makes another SAO game, they seem to focus on the protagonist, but the world was always the main character. And that's why games like Integral Factor got closer than most. For the first time, you actually got to create your own character and experience Aincrad from a different perspective. The problem, it was still a mobile game. No matter how good it was, it couldn't fully capture the scale people imagined when they first watched the anime. Now, I'm not saying build Ready Player One. I'm saying we had 100-player lobbies back in 2020. And RAM prices someone could actually buy. But we still don't have what we are literally asking the company for. At this point, Roblox developers are closer to making SAO than niggas with the license. Like, hello? Does the board of directors not know that this doesn't have to be a huge scale to be a success? You can't tell me it's not possible to just run smaller servers, and when a player is not available to run a merchant shop, etc., Replace it with an NPC to keep the mechanic alive. Like, what? Am I not cooking right now? Run the shops and hotels like that. Add a real estate system, an in-game economy. Not hard, by the way. It can literally just be a buy and sell menu like in Forza. Let us build our own houses. Slap some level design on it and make it live service to maximize return on investment. Speedrunning, satisfying your customers. Everything else is just customization, weapon designs, combat mechanics, and crafting, which y'all literally do every other game, so I don't want to hear. We will conclude with our one and only sliver of hope, Echoes of Aincrad. If you've seen the trailer or played the demo on Steam, you know. This could be either the worst disappointment in anime game history, behind Storm Connections of course, or the holy grail for Sword Art Online fans across the world. Everything you could have asked for in an SAO game, a silent protagonist one anyway, is present, and you aren't playing and experiencing the story as Kirito, but playing in the death game with him as one of the 10,000 players. The only problem is, it's still single player. No, you don't understand. Actually, look at me. When I tell you, I literally saw the trailer, got so hyped, and then it said it was a single player experience. I walked out of the room. I walked out of the room in a fit of rage. I didn't even watch the rest of the gameplay trailer. I was that upset because there should be no reason why we keep asking for this one thing and you know there's money to be had and you don't give it to us.
Many unbearable hours later.
Now, do not fret. All hope is not lost. The way I see it, they could be setting us up so that if the game does well, they roll out the multiplayer and finally relieve us of this agony. Or they release a mid-multiplayer with zero role-playing mechanics, completely ignoring the literal fucking blueprint the source material gave them. But nonetheless, after 14 years, Bandai finally figured out we don't want to be Kirito. Now they just got to figure out we don't want to be alone either. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, subscribe, or I'll be at your doorstep.